Operation Broken Stone. We have concluded that the meatpacking operation in Pilar is being used as a distribution vector for chemical agents. The Argentine government confirms that several of Gospic's operatives have recently entered the country and have been spotted in Pilar. Your mission is to secure the meatpacking facility and prevent the dispersal of the chemical agent.
Intel's convinced that Gospic has gotten his hands on multiple chemical weapons. If he was behind the British bank operation, then it makes sense that Preston was his supplier. Preston made a lot of contacts in Kuwait, including a few with access to the old Soviet chemical weapons labs. It seems highly probable at this point that Gospic has his hands on some amount of VX nerve agent. VX is extremely lethal and very durable. It can be absorbed through skin contact. That's why he had his fingers in the meatpacking plant. The plant ships beef all over the world, including Europe and Israel. We're talking mass murder across a dozen countries. Now, we could probably interdict any shipments from the plant after the fact, but that's too risky. I want us to take that nerve agent into custody before a single drop gets used. That's why we're going back to the meatpacking plant. The Argentine government confirmed sightings of some of Gospic's men in and around Pilar, which means that there's no time to waste. Saddle up. You're going hunting for nerve gas.
We finally have the full picture, thanks to the documents you rescued in London. They are, to put it mildly, explosive. A collection of banking records dating to the Second World War, detailing the systematic looting of assets of Holocaust victims by the Third Reich, their allies in the Ustaša regime in Yugoslavia, and complicit bankers in Geneva. Names are named, including one Peja Sikic. You might remember him. He's the senior citizen that Venezuela wanted to deport just before the unpleasantness at the refinery. In addition, there are repeated mentions of an attaché to the Ministry of Finance, a man named Dejan Blazevik. We've got a picture of Blazevik, and, on a hunch, one of the lads at Intel used some imaging software to make a projection as to what he'd look like now. The end result looks a lot like our Mr. Nicola Gospic. It seems Blazevik got himself smuggled out of Europe in 1945. He arrived in the Caymans a few years later, calling himself Gospic. The money he used to set himself up with was skimmed from the accounts he'd helped liquidate. Intel's best guess is that he felt that the Sikic deportation proceedings might blow his own cover, so he started taking steps to hide his trail. That's not all he's up to, though. The repeated attacks on the Venezuelan oil industry, the chemical weapons, the neo-fascist ties, they add up to something more. Now, on to more bad news. While Gospic doesn't have a stake in that import-export firm you hit in Brazil, Gutierrez does. And Gutierrez's import-export company does do an awful lot of business with firms that are owned by Mr. Nicola Gospic. In particular, there's some connection with the meatpacking firm in Pilar. We know all of this because of one of the phone calls we listened in on at Gutierrez's place. Gospic called Gutierrez to discuss their plans for that business. Plans that included using the VX chemical agents you confiscated in Brazil.
The layout should be familiar, but that's no reason to rush.
Hostile down. Open door. Reform on me.
In formation.
Hostile neutralized. Threat down. Open it. I'm on it. Fall in. With you, sir. Reform on me.
Red waiting for Alpha.
Fall in. Alpha, go, go, go! Threat neutralized. Tango, neutralized. Tango, down. Threat down. Reform on me.
Red waiting for Bravo.
Bravo, go, go, go! Tango, down. Hostile down. Tango, down.
Green waiting for Charlie. Red waiting for Charlie.
Charlie, go!
Mission completed.
Not a drop spilled. Nice work.